Hey guys, Mix here, and in today's video we are back once again with our newest build, the 1980 Honda CB750C, that we're going to be swapping this newly running engine into the half-scale NASCAR. So if you guys didn't see last video, we got it running for the first time in 20 years. I redid the top end, new piston, well, used pistons, new piston rings, and new gaskets, a whole cleanup, everything. And it took a couple tries, but after I threw on the carburetors, messed around with the choke a little bit and the fueling and everything, this thing fired up strong. And then we also had a brief fire, which was actually pretty bad. I didn't think it was that bad when it first happened, but after reviewing the footage, it was actually pretty big, and I got super lucky. But in today's video, we're going to be beginning disassembling the motorcycle, pretty much, and taking everything out of it that we need to go into the mini cup car. So the engine and pretty much the entire wiring harness. I would like to try and use these clusters and everything and integrate them onto the NASCAR, like make like a little dashboard and be able to have that, which would be really awesome. But taking this engine out should be pretty interesting, but this isn't my first time. When I used to work at a motorcycle shop, I actually took apart a CB750, so I do have some experience with taking them out, and then we'll see where we are from there. Maybe we can begin measuring everything onto the NasKart, which we haven't really even touched because we've been so busy with trying to get this running. And also, before I begin working, if you guys notice a little bit of the camera quality difference, I put a little wide-angle lens on this just so you guys could like see more of the bike and everything, and not some like super up close and everything like that. Let me know down below what you guys think of the new lens, if I should go back to the normal one, or if you guys are liking it so far. So first of all, what I'm going to begin doing today is just taking off the minor stuff like the gas tank and just like the surrounding areas, just to make working a little bit easier, like push forward the handlebar so I don't have to keep like swooping around them or whatever. And then after that, I'm going to disconnect the battery because I don't want to mess around with the wiring harness while there's still voltage possibly running through it. And then once I'm done with that minor stuff, then we can begin really getting into the hardcore stuff and rip out this engine and everything that I need to put onto the mini cup car. So let's get started. So guys, I just finished up taking out the entire wiring harness. It was pretty simple. You just gotta take apart all the clips basically and just take it apart like a puzzle. The clips over here were really hard to detach. I mean, they were like corroded together and everything, so when we have to reconnect those once the time comes, I'm probably gonna end up cleaning all of that, all of the connections and everything, so we don't run into any issues. But now that all of the wiring is out, I do want to begin and start taking off the motor mounts. Now, when I worked at that shop, I had to use a pry bar to get it out. So I bought one earlier today, nice Harbor Freight one, and this should definitely be a huge help. And then along with taking off the motor mounts, I gotta take off like the surrounding stuff like the exhaust system, the carburetors, and that should be just about it. And also, before I resume working on it, sorry if this video just has a lot of time lapses in it, but there's just nothing to really talk about at all. But with the exhaust system, I'm going to try and reuse this. It does have a small hole right there. You guys are probably able to see that. But I mean, other than that, it's pretty good. I am probably gonna have to cut it off somewhere because this whole thing isn't gonna fit onto the mini cup car. But I should be able to keep the 4 into 1 and then maybe get like a smaller muffler, or even try and take off this one. I'm sure it's gonna be really hard to take off, but I'm sure if I heat it up and just smack it with the hammer, it'll come out. But anyway guys, let's get back to working. So the exhaust is now out, and as I just put it up, you know, just to save some room so it's not laying out everywhere, on the bottom of it, it's got a pretty good hole in it. Now, I don't know if that's from rust at all, but this definitely looks like that the bike might have been bottomed out the 20 or something years ago. This thing was last on the road. So that definitely looks like a crack from that, but this kind of looks like it was like eaten through by rust or something. And then I just saw this too. This also looks like it's been eaten through by rust. We got a small one starting there. So this exhaust is pretty beat. Way worse than I thought it was. Let's see if I can take off this motor mount bolt with just this 3/8 drive ratchet. Oh yeah, that was actually way easier. So as I was just moving on to the next motor mount, I ran into something pretty interesting. So I'll show you guys this side first. So basically, the two front motor mounts are basically the same design and everything. 2 bolts there. Oh yeah, what the heck? I just noticed this too. Alright, so there's only 1 bolt holding on this side, nothing in those 2. And then if we come around to this side, there are no bolts in any of them, which is super weird. I didn't mess with it. I don't know if somebody tried to take off this engine sometime before I owned it and decided to take off 4 bolts and then give up. I don't know why that's like that, but I'm just gonna take off the ones that are actually in the engine, and then I don't think that there should be any more motor mounts. And then with the ones that I already took off, as you guys can see, they are still in. I just took them out as much as I can just by spinning it, and now I need to take like a tap or something, hit it from the inside, or just try and hit it from the little lip right here without damaging the threads or anything, or bending it. And then comes the fun part of taking out this big engine. Alrighty, so all of the motor mounts are now out, and the engine is in fact loose. As you guys will see, it's got lots of play in it, and one thing I need to be careful for when using the pry bar is to make sure not to pry a hole into the case. That would absolutely suck. So I need to find some strong points like mounting spots or somewhere like that to pry at. But one last thing I need to do real quick is take off this cover and remove the chain so the engine is completely away from the frame and everything and just with itself. And when I worked at that motorcycle shop, what we did is we just turned the bike sideways, and it was somewhat easier to take out. It's still such a pain, but what I might do is, oh my, look at this cobweb on my finger. Oh god, oh get off. Anyway, what I might do is make some room in here, and if I can't get enough room, I might just roll this outside and just lay it on its side and just start prying away until this thing is pretty much slipped out from the frame, and then I can just lift up the frame with the engine still on the ground and it will be out. So let's get off this chain real quick, which might be kind of difficult because this chain is extremely rusted and tight. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the master link on this or what, but I'll see what I can do. So the chain is now off, and I think I might have accidentally deleted one of the time lapses I did, which is fine, I guess. There's so many time lapses in this video, which I apologize about, but basically what I did in it, if I wasn't able to recover it, was I just took off the peg, which was actually a motor mount, and I didn't actually know that, so good thing I had to take off that in order to take off one of the bolts that held on that side cover. So I did that. I was hitting it like crazy from the other side, and it finally came out, and then I took off that side cover, took off the chain, and I think I got that off for taking off the chain and everything, but as you guys can see, I just moved the bike over, and there should be enough room to put it on its side. So I'm going to try and lean this thing over as gently as I can. I don't know how well it's going to go because this thing is like 540 pounds, something like that. But I'm just going to try and take it nice and slow down, and hopefully I don't get hurt. Kickstand is up. Now, I don't know exactly what side to go on. I think I might just do it on this side. Try and just go nice and slow, God. And also the handlebars aren't exactly mounted down, so that makes it even more sketchy. Oh god. It's definitely gonna leak some gas out of the carbs too. So you know what, before I lean this completely over and just send it, I'll try and line up where they're gonna fall. Let's try right there. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow, okay, they leaked a ton. Holy cow. I probably should have took off the carburetors. I'm pretty sure I said I was gonna, but I guess I ended up forgetting or something. What the heck? We got like an oil tube leaking right now. This is a mess. Yeah, I got that contained. So here is the big mess it made. It was leaking oil out of that line right there, and I'm not... Oh, it's the crankcase breathers. Okay, so it was leaking oil out of the crankcase just because it was pointing down, but I got a ton of shop rags under there, and I guess that means it is time to pry. Oh, almost forgot to take out my punch, which is just a 1/4-inch extension. But guys, here is the bike. This is weird. I've never seen it like this. So what I'm gonna do is find, some nice sturdy spots to really pry at. I mean, this is already up, so I don't think I'm gonna have that much of an issue. I mean, the one I did when I used to work at that shop was really, really hard to do. So I just gotta kind of eye everything and kind of just see if it will fit along the outside. At least I think this is, I remember how I did it. And then hopefully it will come right out. Okay, here we go. Time to start prying. Oh, God. Oh, wow, what the heck? Check that out, guys. The whole frame comes apart. What the heck? I have never, ever seen that. Well, I'm gonna try and take these bolts off, and then maybe when I lift it up, it'll just kind of fall off onto its side and come out. Wow, I've never seen this ever. Frame that comes apart. That is nuts. The Honda manufacturers in the 80s were bonkers. This is crazy. What? That's insane. That's so crazy. Of course I leaned it the wrong way. Alright, so I'm gonna try and stand this thing up now and see what happens with the engine. Oh. Oh. Oh, God. Alright, so the engine is on a gangster lean right now. So what I'm gonna do is take off this brake pedal and then tip it over to this side, and then it should just kind of tuck and roll out. At least in theory it will. The brake pedal is now off, and now I need to lean it this way. Oh, carburetors fell out. I need to find where it's getting caught up on. Oh, God. Oh, wait. Woo! We're out, boys! Let's go! Oh, my God. Sorry for the AC noise. I had to put it on. The smell of gasoline is insane in here right now. I want to try and get some fresh air in. All I need to do is just take off the throttle cable so I can get these stupid carburetors out of the way. Okay. Carburetors are out of the way. Now let's get this engine upright. Oh, God. Woo. Oh, okay. So guys, the engine is out of the 1980 Honda CB750, and thank God for that design. Honestly, at first I thought it was super weird, but that made it so much easier. Everything we need for the NasKart is off the bike, maybe besides the horn if I want to add a horn, which I probably do want to. And I could not be more excited to put this thing on the NasKart and fab everything up. I am going to try and reuse the engine mounts onto the NasKart, because probably next video I'm going to be buying the welder, and my friend is going to be coming over. He's a really, really good welder, and he's probably going to weld up some things for us and also teach me a little bit how to weld, and maybe some of you guys. So I'm so pumped on that. This build has been coming along so good so far. So many of you guys were so pumped just as much as I was when this thing fired up last video. And get ready, because this build has just gotten started. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here before the gas fumes. I gotta clean all this up. Just kill me, I don't know. But follow my social medias, that will be on the outro of this video. Instagram and Snapchat I use the most. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends about the channel.